Today I want to talk about leadership leading towards unity. And there's so much to say about the topic, but here's what I want to say today. When we think about today's world, it's so fractured by conflict and division and misunderstanding. And I think the call for unity rings louder than ever. But unity is not just a distant dream that is only for global diplomats or national leaders, right? It begins with each and every one of us. True leadership isn't just about authority or influence. It's about embodying and fostering unity. From the innermost depths of our being to the farthest reaches of our shared world, leadership that unites rather than divides is both an ancient ideal and a timely necessity. Before we can really hope to inspire unity in other people, though, we have to first cultivate it within ourselves, a unification of our inner spirit. Inner leadership is the practice of aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our core values. This internal coherence generates clarity and peace, which radiate outward like the first warmth of spring after a long winter. Consider the poet Rainer Maria Rilke, who wrote, "The only journey is the one within." This internal journey is foundational to any leader who seeks to foster unity. A fragmented inner life often leads to reactive, inconsistent leadership. But a person who has faced their fears, integrated their values, and chosen presence over performance becomes a stable force in any environment. In a world that rewards noise and speed, internal leadership demands silence and stillness. Like a poem that says much with little, inner beauty is subtle but powerful. It's the quiet resolve that allows a leader to stand in the middle of chaos and act not from panic, but from purpose. Next, there's leadership in relationship. So leadership in relationships means more than just being the strong one or the decision maker. It oftentimes looks like listening when it's easier to talk, and offering grace when judgment feels justified, and even leading with empathy rather than ego. Many interpersonal conflicts arise not from major differences, but from misunderstood intentions. A unifying leader in relationships builds bridges of understanding. This type of leader listens, not to reply, but to understand. They're like a skilled poet attuned not only to words, but to tone and rhythm and silence. Just like poetry invites us to feel something universal through the particular, relational leadership invites others to see themselves in one another. It creates a shared emotional vocabulary. This is especially important in today's hyper-connected yet emotionally distant culture, where true connection often gets lost in translation. The next level out is neighborhoods and communities, leadership at the local level. So zooming out from the individual and the interpersonal, leadership plays a critical role in neighborhoods and communities. Communities flourish when people step up to unify diverse interests under a common good. This doesn't even require formal titles. The neighborhood leader might be the person who organizes a monthly cleanup, starts a community garden, or just greets others with genuine kindness. Their presence says, "You belong here," and that simple message can transform isolation into connection. The unifying leader at the local level sees their neighborhood not as a set of properties, but as a living, breathing ecosystem. They recognize that safety, joy, resilience are collective goods, and they take responsibility for cultivating them. This can mean initiating dialogue where there's silence and building consensus where there may be conflict. Community leadership involves embracing difference without letting it devolve into division. It requires nurturing common ground and encouraging new beginnings. Then we move onto the global arena. When leaders operate from internal unity, extend it to relationships, and build it in their communities, they become credible voices in the global conversation about unity. Global leadership today is not about domination, but about collaboration. It's about addressing collective challenges like climate change, inequality, displacement, and conflict through shared effort. But unity on a global scale can be complex. It requires cultural humility, the courage to challenge unjust systems, and a willingness to prioritize long-term humanity over short-term interests. Leaders who are serious about global unity must be able to hold multiple truths, to act decisively while staying deeply human. Think of leaders like Nelson Mandela, who led from a place of integrated values and compassion, not vengeance or pride. Their leadership wasn't just political, it was poetic, like verses spoken from deep wells of truth. Their words and actions invite us into a more just and connected world. Leadership and unity share something profound with poetry. They both require a vision of wholeness. Where others see fragments, the poet and the unifying leader sees the thread. Unity is not sameness, it's harmony among differences. Just as a good poem weaves together tension and release, image and implication, unity in leadership weaves together paradox, strength and gentleness, clarity and curiosity, conviction and compassion. In times of confusion and division, it's easy to believe that unity is impossible. But as any gardener knows, the hardest soil can still give way to green. So in summary, you don't need to be a CEO, a president, or a founder to lead with unity. You only need to begin where you are with yourself. Ask, where am I divided internally? Where am I reacting instead of responding? How can I show up in my relationships, not to win, but to connect? Then move outward. How can I serve my neighborhood or community in a way that builds trust and togetherness? What small gesture today might create space for someone else to feel seen? And finally, hold the global in your heart. Even our smallest choices ripple out. A leader who embodies unity is like a single spring breeze, invisible but powerful, capable of moving things in the direction of growth. In a world hungry for healing and wholeness, leadership rooted in unity offers a profound response. It begins with self-awareness, expands through relational empathy, strengthens in community, and resonates globally. Like a carefully crafted poem, such leadership speaks to what is most human in us all, the longing to be connected, to be part of something larger, and to live in harmony.